in, everyone, to episode 190 of the HurricaneKaz podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng, and today I'm joined by HurricaneKaz, PP Josh, and well, because Kaz got him sick.
Listen, we just keep passing it back and forth. You got me sick. I got Tristan sick. Steve.
Just leave me alone, guys.
I hope you're quarantining from the rest of the world, you know?
Yeah, if we can just keep this North America centric, maybe it can't cross the international date line. That'd work for me.
I will say, out of me, Kaz, and Tristan, Tristan's probably the most considerate one because he's actually skipping the episode because he's scared to get you sick, Steve. You know, whereas the two of us just showed up, while still under the weather. But
yeah,
hey, I did skip an episode because I was sick, and yet still,
it's kind of crazy because I wasn't even sick for that long. It was like I think I was sick during the New Year's or whatever. But I had this lingering cough for weeks. Like I feel like I coughed yesterday or day before yesterday from the same sick cough, but I'm not sick anymore.
Listen, I don't want to add to the theory that we're getting each other sick, but that's also exactly what happened to me. Like I just was coughing for so long.
Yeah, I went through an entire bottle of NyQuil. So, but
oh my gosh,
I was sleeping. All right. Anyway, let's talk about some events. We will be joined by Tristan hopefully next week, but in the meantime, we got some Unova Tour details. So I believe this is talking about the in-person one, or I'm not even sure if this is global or not. But
I'm pretty sure it's talking about both. It'll just happen, obviously, for the in-person one first.
Right. So Reshiram or Zekrom, select your event badge in new research, and special research will begin on March 1st. So this will be probably global. Is what's related to. And then if you click the black version, the Reshiram badge, you receive Reshiram themed special research. All Kyurem encountered after defeating black Kyurem in 5-star raids will know the charge tag Glaciite. And then for those that choose white version Zekrom badge, all Kyurem you encounter after defeating white Kyurem in 5-star raids will know the charge tag Glaciite. So it's kind of similar to last year when they had the Origin Dialga and Palkia where you guarantee to get the exclusive move, whereas if you don't, select that specific one that they're not guaranteed it, which is like but I'm not a huge fan, but what's good to know is that it's the Kyurem you encounter that has Glaciite, but white Kyurem and black Kyurem is the one that's like really worth value, right, in PvP, in my opinion, or potentially. So I feel like it doesn't matter if it's Glaciite on the Kyurem or not, as long as you evolve it and you have all the exclusive moves on the evolved versions, right?
Which one is the one you needed to have the move for it to lock in?
No, neither. I don't think you need a move, right?
Do you need Glaciite to evolve? Needed to have the special move.
No,
I'm about to drop 3 elite TMs.
No, they need to know. I believe it's that they need to know Glaciite in order to be able to like permanently transform, but it's not dependent on the move in this case. It's dependent on like the variant of Kyurem. So I imagine that all like if similar to the origin form Dialga and Palkia, if you choose the black version, then all of your black Kyurem will like know the move, right?
Yeah.
And then, but the white one is like not guaranteed.
Well, it's saying that if you choose the white or black one, regardless of which one it is, it's just the Kyurem, because once you beat a white or black Kyurem in raids, what you get is just a regular Kyurem, not a black or white one. So it's just saying that the regular Kyurem has Glaciite, which means that I think what Steve's saying, it makes sense if that's the case, that it needs Glaciite to actually evolve, which is so stupid in my opinion, but I get it. And I have 300% Kyurems that don't have Glaciite, so I'll have to spend some elite TMs, but it's not that in the world. Anyway. Ticket holders attending the in-person Taipei City or Los Angeles event won't select a badge. All Kyurem encountered after defeating black and white Kyurem in 5-star race will be guaranteed to know the charge tag Glaciite. Fantastic, but I got 3 hundos already, and I want to evolve those, but maybe I'll get some more hundos. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the XLs needed, so I need to raid a bunch anyway, and I don't know. Yeah. Maybe luck will be on my side. I mean, I did get a Hundo Palkia with the background last year at the Go Tour. So, yeah. Then there's a bunch of other like add-ons, avatar items, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, most of this seems pretty like superficial. Like, oh, here's what the different badges look like. Here's the
Yeah.
avatar items you get. You know,
Yep.
stuff like that. But it does look like you get different avatar items based on kind of which ticket experiences you pick. It's unclear whether those things. I imagine those things will not be available to like non-ticket holders.
You have to purchase the black Kyurem and the white Kyurem thingos. Those avatar items that are sort of, there's the white Kyurem tail and the black Kyurem wings. Those ones you have to purchase. I think the ones that everyone get is there's a T-shirt that has both Zekrom and Reshiram on it, and then there's a thingo helmet.
Yeah. And then there's going to be the shiny Meloetta tee that's available in the Masterwork research. But what I'm talking about is like there's the Road to Unova event add-ons, which we have talked about in previous episodes, where it's like one is for raids, one is for eggs, I think.
Yeah. I don't think the egg one's really worth it unless there's something crazy in the egg hatches that I'm missing. I think last year there was like shiny Pachirisu, I guess. That could have been interesting. But I don't know if
it's shiny regionals.
Yeah, is there anything really special in this one though?
Maractus, Sigalith, and Buffalont.
Yeah, so nothing like relevant like to PvP or anything. It's just like a new shiny, and they're regionals, so you won't have really, unless you travel a lot, have a good opportunity to get them again. So
personally, I think the raid add-on's always worth it, especially if you're going to try to build something for Master League. If you don't really care for Master League and stuff, maybe just skip that add-on as well. But me personally, like, you know, it's a very exclusive event where we don't know when the next time to help black and white Kyurem spawn. So I personally just try to always raid as much as I can during these events.
But if you do want to do these add-ons, the tickets are available starting on Monday, February 24th at 10 a.m. And they're available for purchase until Sunday, March 2nd. So you can start purchasing them the week before the event and up until the event ends, basically.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that March 24th date, that's when the limited time research starts, right? Where we're going to be able to get some Great League legendaries. Is it?
February 24th?
Yeah. Oh, February. Yeah. Definitely what I meant.
Yeah, because that coincides with the in-person event stuff. So
yeah, because it's like it's like the lead up to the actual event on that upcoming weekend. More stickers, you guys. Are you excited for stickers?
I mean, I know Debbie Pebble's out there cheering, but that might be about it.
Don't tell my friends. Some of them are like desperate they need the sticker with the gifts. They like yell at me if it don't. So I'm like,
that's so wild.
Yeah. I mean they always send stickers back though. So I try to do it with like the regional or international worlds and stuff because those gifts are a little bit better. But
I don't have time.
I like when you can pair. Yeah. It's true. I think that's more true. I do like it when you can do like a perfect sticker and gift combination. You know.
Oh.
Like.
I was gonna say it just reminds me. We should check our scatterbug after this to see if it's shiny or not because we're talking about stickers.
No, they're not.
Oh, they can't be if they're preloaded.
They can't be. Yeah, because you have to encounter it and then run away from it.
Okay, no. Because you guys talked about that last time. Not true. You don't have to encounter it to stash it. You can either, or what I did, I've got like the Samsung, it's got the little back button in the bottom right-hand corner. You can click that and it just escapes out and it never shows you the scatterbug.
I've never seen any of them. Yeah,
see, I don't have a button. I don't have a button. Okay.
There's another workaround.
I don't know if you can.
There is.
Is it like swipe? Like you can swipe away?
Zoe 2 dots, she just force closed the app. Never saw it.
What?
So like, the thing would come up being like, oh, Sun Scatterbug is about to appear. And then she just closes the app so that it didn't spawn in the Scatterbug.
If you guys want to try and find that, like make that workaround work, like
wait. So what if I didn't do all that? So I mean, I'm just curious right now. I'm just gonna pull it up and see if I can get. So
you already encountered,
but I haven't seen any. I just pinned it there.
Okay, when the notification came up, right, when it said like, "Oh, a Sun Scatterbug is about to appear" or whatever, what did you do?
I never see the notification, and if there is, I just never click on it.
No, that's impossible.
I don't think I have that notification set.
Caleb, that's
you might have
impossible.
clicked these
all I'm
ages
saying
ago.
is, like last week or 2 weeks ago when we covered it, and I accidentally clicked on the scatterbug. That was the first time I've ever seen one in my game, like on my app.
I'm putting a dad on
No.
it. I've
No.
if you have
I
actively
don't. Listen, okay, I think you forgot. I think you forgot
where
that
is
you
oh,
saw
okay.
it.
No. Okay, let's. It says all these catch things, right? Let's track.
Yeah.
Right? This one, I think I accidentally clicked. So this one is not. I should probably bury these because
for the record, I had 7 stored up. None of them were shiny. First one I tapped that was new, shiny. So
I mean, could be a coincidence, but
yeah,
yeah,
I wouldn't take that as evidence.
All right, let me.
I think we were thinking about it wrong. I forgot that there is an actual encounter that you have to like get.
I've never actually seen one, which is weird because I don't even know how many I had.
I swear.
Yeah, okay. Me and Kaz are on the same page. You totally saw them. You just saw them like a year and a half ago.
How? How? I just forgot because I didn't even know I had any stored until you all told me where to find it.
No, you forgot. I promise.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I didn't forget nothing.
Caleb, you forget a lot of things.
I will say, I am 3 down, and none have been shiny. Let's continue with the rest of the stuff, and I will update you all if I do catch one. Or pretend like I'm not catching these if I don't. Okay, we have another event coming up right now. It's the Singapore City adventure events. So I want to take this while I catch these
essentially.
They're very exclusive to just Singapore.
Yeah, Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is just another city safari zone that is happening on the same weekend as the 3 that have already been announced. So there was one in Mumbai, there's one in Europe, and there's one in Latin America. I don't remember exactly where they are, but this is just a 4th one adding onto the pile, which I thought was a bit odd that they're adding a 2nd one in the APAC region. Like I kind of assumed they'd be pushing like Asian trainers to go hit up Mumbai, but now they're just going like, don't bother, man. You don't have to go that far. You can just go to Singapore, I guess. So I guess Mumbai is going to be pretty, one, Indian based, but then also just people that booked their tickets early rather than late arrivals. But otherwise, it's pretty much the exact same event as all the other ones. It's, Mudbray is released. There's Corsola. There's Mr. Mime. We've talked about it before, and it's exactly the same. It's just now there's also one in Singapore. So if that suits you, feel free. It is the same weekend as Brisbane Regionals, though. So Australians not allowed. Stay here.
Wait, didn't you say you're losing a bunch of Australian players for the India safari?
Yeah, there's a few that have already booked their Indian ones, pre-Brisbane announcement, and so now there's just another one that's like, oh, this is even closer if you really want to skip Brisbane Regionals. So it's like, well,
this is your chance to win the regional,
Yeah, well, no, it's just going to get more concentrated. Like all of the guys that don't care too much, they're going to go off to the safari zone, and all the guys that really care, all of the Ric Flairions and your Valiant Vicious, if he's competing, they will just all be there. It's just going to be tough after tough.
Has Valiant Vicious been competing?
Well, he just had a kid. I think he might have showed up to a local, but he didn't travel all the way to Perth Regionals. But Brisbane Regional is kind of his local, so he might rock up. Like he won't have to fly. So
okay. Well, that being said, wait, did I talk about that? Ask you how PvP relevant Mudbray is?
Is it?
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't remember if we really did, because I don't think we don't have really any information for it.
Does it evolve into anything or no?
Yeah, there's a big old horse.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I will say the rank 1 for Great League for Mudbray is a 115-14 at level 30. So you might even just use this over the evolve one. Mud Slap is a move it's predicted to have. Body Slam, Bulldoze, Earthquake. Nothing crazy, honestly. It's just like a pure ground type. I don't know how bulky this is. It actually looks like it's not that bulky. Let me compare it to Gashadon as a quick example here. It's less bulky than Gashadon. It has more attack, but
yeah.
So is Mudbray kind of replacing Skiddo then as kind of a featured Pokemon at these safari events?
Actually, good question, because Skiddo was really their city safari zone Pokemon or safari zone Pokemon that hasn't been released anywhere else since. So I guess so.
And I don't see it in the spawns listed, for any of these events. So maybe
Well,
that
Skittle
means
was like last year's, right?
Yeah, but they
yeah.
haven't like
So
released that outside of it yet.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
haven't released it outside of these safari events. So maybe if Mudbray is kind of like replacing it, we might get a global release for Skiddo finally soon.
Oh, Caleb's
I
about
know
to be
I
able to
still don't
use his Go-Goat in Play Pokemon.
Dude, I have a
I
high
know I
rank
still
one
don't
too.
have one, so
I legit was going to bring it to a local, and then someone reminded me I can't. And I think it was someone here.
Someone.
Yeah. My bad. I don't know. Either way, I wiped out my memory because I got so excited. I was like, "Oh, this would be great content." And then,
just another thing that Caleb doesn't remember.
yeah, those content creators, man, always being cut through and cutting out other people's contents whenever they can.
Tough life.
Yeah. Anyway, Skiddo I think is a little bit more PvP relevant, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone makes Mudbray work. But
Yeah, well,
Where
they'd
but
have to.
that probably is. They haven't announced if that's banned or not, right? Honestly,
No,
I think
but
it was
I
not banned.
think it
It's
will
just so
be.
bad that's like not
No,
like
but
relevant.
I
But
think it will be.
Yeah. Also, the
yeah,
fact that it's showing up in all of these events and there's not any event in North America means that we're going to see North Americans complaining about accessibility more than anyone else.
well, if it's good, right? If it's bad, I feel like there's something complain. Well, I don't know. People find a reason.
I think
to complain,
even if it's like Go-Go's not that broken, and there were still people yapping about it. I
feel like a
Yeah.
Mudbray's easier to find to use than a freaking Spinda in Great League.
That's true. It's Mud Slap, so Mud Slap always works a little bit. All I'm saying is just pay attention when
Yeah.
you see someone complaining on Twitter. Check if they're North American, because I've got my.
Well, let me compare it to Domfan because this has pretty much the same moveset with Mud Slap, Body Slam, and Earthquake, except Domfan has more moves. It's a little bit a higher attack than Domfan. It's less defense by quite a bit, actually, and it's a little more stamina. So it's comparable to Domfan, but less tap product and less bulky. So
the evolution, Mudsdale, is actually like really similar to Donphan. It's got like about the same attack, about the same defense,
D8.
slightly higher stamina.
Oh yeah,
based off of Clydesdales.
Yeah, it's actually better to run the Mudstale than the Mudbray. But yeah. Anyway, a very specific event. Just thought we'd keep you all updated on that. We also have Pokemon Day Presents coming up.
Yeah.
And this will be February 27th.
Yeah, that's not really an event or anything to go with it. I mean, Pokemon Go usually does some kind of like event for.
Look, she's climbing all over the table, so you clearly want to be held.
There's usually some kind of event in game, but we haven't got any announced. But we might get some kind of Pokemon Go news with this presents. So it's going to be, as you mentioned, February 27th. On YouTube, the video will be at 6 a.m. PST. So that's 9 a.m. for us Eastern.
I shall stay up for this one.
Easterners. What time is that for you, Josh?
That would be approximately 1 a.m. the next day. So I will not be there no matter what.
If I could stay up for it, you could stay up for it. Come on now.
You're going to stay up for it? Not it's one of those get things. Up for it?
True. That is very
you know how my sleep schedule
weird.
I don't remember the last time I went to sleep.
That's a choice.
I don't remember the last time I went to sleep in the PM. Okay, so also I cannot hear you right now because my cat kicked my headphones out my ear. But all right, we're good.
Look, it's one of those things.
She's really on the struggle bus.
Yeah, there's Mittens and then there's this demon devil child.
Yeah, I'm actually not in my house, so I don't have Mittens with me right now.
Well, I've brought the weekly cat to the podcast, and this one's a little bit harder to finagle, but that's fine. Okay, well, just keep that in mind though for anyone that wants to tune in. I wonder if they're gonna. I think people are theorizing that they're going to announce stuff about Pokemon. Are the Arceus? Yeah, ZA.
Yeah. Pokemon Legends ZA. That will almost certainly happen. But Pokemon Day, they usually, and during these big presents, they usually do try and announce something for each of the games. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we might not get a lot for Go, but I'm sure we'll get something. And yeah, I do expect the bulk of it though to be about the console game, that Pokemon Legends ZA, which I'm very pumped about. So that's why I put it on the agenda.
I never even finished Arceus. Is it good?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like
The
my
problem
favorite.
is I
I
get
liked
motion
playing
sick
it.
with like POV games these days. I'm too old for it. So I would like want to start like vomit like after 20 minutes of
It's not,
Arceus.
but it's not like it's like an overhead. Like it's not your
No matter.
POV.
No, it's third
It's
person POV. But that
yeah,
third
third
person
person
and
POV.
first person POV gets me really nauseous these days. Like if I play Fall
Dang.
Guys, I'm like nauseous after like 15 minutes. I had to take like anti-nausea medicine before I play, which is kind of crazy.
That's bad.
But
I mean, I get motion sickness really easily as well, but I've never really gotten it very bad from a video game. At least not like sometimes Mario Kart drives me crazy.
oh,
Honestly,
Mario
that's
Kart on the
good.
Switch, yeah, really bad. Old
Yeah.
Mario Kart
It's
though, I don't have problems
yeah,
with.
old Mario Kart is fine, but like
Yeah.
the newer games like where they have you flipping around and stuff, I'm just like nope, can't even with this. But Arceus didn't make me ill. And it's been my favorite game to play. Honestly, I love playing it way more than Scarlet or Violet or even Sword and Shield. Like
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into those very much. But this one has, I feel like, it returned to kind of having a more legit story, even if it was very, very straightforward, pretty easy to follow. But I really enjoyed it.
The issue with
Um,
Scarlet and Violet for me was that it felt too open world. Like it was like not like a linear path you could go onto. Whereas Arceus felt a little less open
th-
world. I like
yeah.
the gameplay and the campaign and everything like that. I just the motionness. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
maybe I'll just take some medicine next time and play. But
in a way, like Scarlet and Violet being open world, like it was a little frustratingly so because nothing was scaled. So even though you could go wherever you wanted, you could take like any path or run around or whatever. Sometimes you would like go to take care of this gym and it would be super easy, and other times you'd go and you'd be like, "What just
yeah,
happened?"
when I saw that first Bombardier like mega evolution thing, I was like, "What the heck is happening?" It's like
Yeah,
double
there
weak to
was.
like electric or something. I'm still dying. Actually, no, I don't think it's
Yeah, I
double
think
weak,
I
but
wandered into the psychic gym and I just got destroyed by the first Pokemon. I was like, well, okay, I guess I couldn't go this way or I wasn't supposed to go this way.
yeah.
So that's what was frustrating. Whereas Arceus is like very limited in its open worldedness.
hmm
It was a little more like, okay, you can go anywhere you want, but like here's probably where you should go. You unlock areas one at a time,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it's harder to kind of like go wherever you want until you've done more of the
I still never
story.
forget the what were they called? They're not called primal. The like red eyes one.
Oh, the alphas.
The alphas. I saw the alpha
Yeah.
Snorlax and I saw this
Oh
thing
my
scale a tree in the span of a second. Look like a like a like a
oh my gosh.
nightmare demon, you know?
I
Um,
loved it so much. I also loved how the music would change. So me and my friends, Jen included, we started playing the game like at the same time while on a voice call with each other. So even though we were kind of like going and doing different things, we were kind of like talking with each other about what we were seeing.
yeah.
And the first time one of us encountered an alpha was so funny because we were just like, "Hey, why is the music changing? Like, what is that? What does that mean?" And then one of us just started screaming like, "Oh, it's gonna eat me alive!"
Yeah, those things are freaky. But
It was so good. But it got to the point where later, once we kind of knew what was happening, we'd hear the music and we'd be, "Who's targeting me? Where are they? Where they be at?"
uh,
It's very fun. So I'm looking forward to kind of reliving that experience because I
oh, I
really
could
enjoyed
tell.
that game. So if they keep the same, if they keep it in kind of the same vein
oh,
of like
mhm.
exploration and storytelling, I'm really excited.
Actually, I just thought of this. What if Pokemon ZA, whatever, the new game,
Hmm.
like Pokemon Arceus, but it's multiplayer, MMORPG even.
I mean,
That'd be kind of crazy
like, that'd be wild. I don't think they'll do that. I just,
because they're not capable, or
I
you think it wouldn't be better for the game? I think it'd be kind of cool if we're all
kind of,
trying to fight
I
this,
mean, I think
Alpha Snorlax or whatever.
I think it'd be fun, but I don't think it's something that they're like ready to do in their
It's
franchise
definitely,
at this.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of
moment.
commitment because it's way harder
Yeah.
than MMORPG. But
especially because like Nintendo, I think in general, not just the Pokemon Company, but like overarching Nintendo and the games that they have like that, I think they have more of a problem with like multiplayer than other consoles do.
Is it because like
because
the in-game chat
just
and
because
stuff
of the
like that,
way.
or?
Well, yeah, there's that, but also, I mean, the Switch just straight up is not as powerful as like other consoles. So
Yeah. Well, they're making
I
that
think that
second
they
Switch,
I think
right?
that they commit. Yeah, they are, but I think that they commit to like giving you more of like an experience that you can certainly like share and discuss with other people, but it's like they want you to just be able to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with their gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
rather than focusing on like how you're going to make it all work together.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Would you want it to be the case though, if they had the option to?
I would definitely. I mean, I in Scarlet and Violet, you have kind of like a somewhat way to play with other players.
Yeah. You
Me and
could
my
go up to
friends
like
would.
4 people, I think, in
Yeah,
the same game.
Really?
it's weird
Yeah,
though.
you can see
Yes, you
them running
could,
around. Actually, it's
Oh.
kind of
but you
wild.
could only do like certain things, and like it didn't really like it didn't affect everyone's like game the exact same.
Yeah.
So it's like you're playing together, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
So
Right.
because we did it a few times, and it just like overall it wasn't really as like enjoyable for us. It didn't really change anything. The most fun that we had was just trying to like pose in the right way to get our Pokemon like to take photos with us.
That makes sense.
So if they give me that, I mean, I'll do that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so
Pokemon
that
Day.
is Pokemon Day.
Oh,
Anyway, back to Pokemon Go specifically. We got our announcement about March Community Day Classic, which will be Totodile. So I hope everyone that uses Shadows got frustration off of their Totodiles and is ready to evolve it for Hydro Cannon.
Very inclusive of you,
yes. Yes.
Get ready for the complaints.
I mean, this one I feel like is a little overdue, but a lot of people are still probably wanting it. So, and it's still pretty PvP relevant at the moment. But who knows? By March 1st, it might not be, or March whatever.
Yeah,
but,
true.
Good.
I don't know how you really nerf for Alligator without
they nerf Hydro Cannon again.
Yeah, that'd be wild too. I think that's like, I think it's fine where it is. Honestly, my biggest complaint is that they nerfed too many of his counters in September, and that's why it's like hard to deal with. But 1/2 or 1/4 hash distance, and then the standard stuff. And it is. Did you say the date already? It's March 22nd. Yeah, Saturday.
Yes, March 22nd, 2 to 5. So it's a Saturday.
Remember when they used to do 11 to 2 on community days? I'm glad they changed that.
Yeah. I feel like, well, I don't know. I feel like we've already had this discussion before. I don't remember the last time that there was like an 11 to 2.
No, the answer was years
feel like
ago.
It's like years, yeah. But I do feel like it's like a seasonal thing. Like maybe they used to do that because of our foolish daylight savings time that we cling to.
Yeah, well, part of it, I think. Well, I mean, yeah, this is all rehashed territory, I guess. But I think there was some level of you don't want people out there in the middle of the day, in the middle of summer, sort of vibes as well. Which the 11 to 2 window sort of shoved you out there while the sun was at its peak. But
that should have been a question I asked Michael when we had him on the podcast, but maybe he's overdue for an episode. So we'll keep that in mind. Someone remind me, right, for next time. Such a random mundane question.
Because you will forget.
100% will forget. Quick scatter bug update.
Yep.
I got 4 shinies.
That's not true.
That's not true.
He literally got 0.
Show them. Show them to me right now.
I'm just kidding. Man, I got work. Fucking poker face. That was terrible. Neither of them even fell for it.
No.
Yeah, I got 0. You guys are right. Anyway.
No, there's no way.
Hold on to a scatterbug for no reason. I see now why everyone's like scammering around trying to get some ASAP right now. Wait, it's not like it's only shiny during this event though, right? Like you get it after, or is it like boosted shiny?
Probably boosted.
I would imagine it's boosted right now.
Okay.
Most likely, but after the event, it will be available. It's just, I mean, it's not an easy Pokemon to get. So
yeah, definitely. What's the all right? So let's hop over to Go Battle League. What's the ELO update these days?
Terrible.
I actually haven't played since. Because
I'm just trying to. He's just like you're like in Mario Kart where once everyone finishes the race, you just like stop. You just like don't even try to finish it.
It's like, I'm gonna lose anyway. I just didn't want to play Love Cup. I really didn't enjoy it, so I was just like,
See, that's funny because I was really enjoying Love Cup, and then as soon as it went back to Open Great League, I lost like 200 points. So.
Oh, you gotta try this team I've been running. It's good. I got to 3200s with it. And geez. I'm not even playing well either. It's like my previous team, but Wigglytuff instead of Talonflame. Wigglytuff and then Safeswap, Primeape, and Diggersby. It's pretty nutty. And there's so many people that run like weak to Wigglytuff in the lead. Like I ran to a Shadow Nightlape lead yesterday. I was like, oh, this is exactly where I want to see it. And they just stay in to throw an Ice Punch. I shield because I thought it was close combo, but that's fine. And then they go to like a Shadow Drapion, I swap over and stuff. And then they eventually come in with a Corsola. Because I think I had my Diggersby on the Drapion. They stayed in there too. I was like, what is happening? And then I saw Glare and Corsola back. I was like,
yeah. Wigglytuff lead was my big
Corsola in the
yeah.
There's a lot of Corsola in the back out there.
Yeah, that's why the Diggersby's nice. But even the Primeape's is not too bad, and Wigglytuff beats it too. So, yeah, that thing's kind of disgusting. But
yeah, no, I tried several different teams. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so we only have 1 week. No. Yes.
Yeah.
A little.
Well, yeah, a little over
depending time
a little over a week.
9. Oh, there's another 3 days of the season actually, because it only rolls over on like the 3rd or something.
But it's still like Master League, like the Master League thing, right? What is it? Master League
Mega Master League.
So it's like
Mega Edition or something.
So it's like a week and a half that we have left of the current season overall, though, right?
Yeah.
March, because it ends on March 3rd technically. So is it going to be all 3 leagues for that whole time?
No. So for the last week, it's just Great League and Master League Mega Edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Kaz, my thumbnail artist, but actually, you can flip the order back over to Hoopa, the Hoopa thing first, and then the next one. Because I just realized that next week's also Great League, so it'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Caleb's doing business right now.
Yeah. on our other podcast.
Don't be jealous, right? Of my content creator grind, Steve. I know you grinding too. Not grinding as hard, apparently.
I'm not doing it in the podcast, I guess.
Yeah. Grind never ends.
I'll learn.
Steve, do you have any content creator business you want to tackle in this segment?
Oh, he be tweeting stuff too. I see. He's I feel like Steve's always innovating different content creators. Every time I see him, I'm like, dang, I was like, I gotta kind of step up my game. I'm just doing the same old. What did you post recently? I feel like, oh yeah, you won a Caterpie in your local region. Like, I was like, what the heck? I need to watch this. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but
yeah, I only won one battle with Caterpie, but it was sick. It was a pretty good.
I have a local this weekend. Oh, it's the Unova. We talked about it before, but we've advertised it on this podcast. But it's the Go Cup. It's actually tomorrow, actually, at the time of this recording. So maybe you'll probably hear the audio version by then. But, dude, they're giving away. I don't know if you all know much about the cards and stuff, but they're giving away like a whole booster box of Surging Sparks, which is pretty valuable. And then they also have the Prismatic EV, like the Prismatic ETB for second place. Which, in my opinion, I'm like, I feel like second place is even better than first place for the rewards. Good for me though. I'm great at second place. Though.
I was gonna say Caleb's aiming.
Next week,
for that
I'm gonna be holding a Prismatic ETB. Hopefully, I'm not even place. I haven't gone to a tournament in a while, a hot minute since like 2024, and like a while ago since 2024. So I need to. I was doing some scrims with some people for that going to EUIC to prepare myself, but I was like, they need scrims too, so might as well.
Yeah. But I don't think I'll be doing any more locals until later in March. We have some that have been scheduled closer to the Atlanta regional dates, so that us locals can get in some practice together.
True. That's a good point. How many How far are you on the championship leaderboard? Do you remember?
I'm still at 240 points. I don't know where that falls, but it's
Oh,
probably
you're
lower
definitely in the
now.
top 75 for sure. Well, because the good thing is it's not, you don't even need 75 anymore. They cut off all the guaranteed invites and stuff. So it'll probably end up for NA being like top 80 plus to like 80 some high 80s to like maybe even, is it possible to be 90? It could be 90 something too, right? With all the regionals plus 4 from NAIC, and maybe you could steal some invites from EUIC. Possibly.
Well, they can steal it back, so like maybe don't.
Same possibly. Wait, it's top 4, right? It's Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. They could steal it back, but I think NAIC is during the EU Belfast.
So stay home, Europeans. Is Caleb's call?
Nah, come on down. Honestly, the people that we should be worried about is LATAM and NA, because LATAM was almost like won the whole thing last year. Yeah,
but I mean, we do the same to them. I feel like, so it's just, which we'll talk about here in a second, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so that being said, I forgot. Oh, so for Go Battle League, I guess. Just getting back on topic here. We could probably do like some type of legend bet next season. But maybe let's see if Tristan wants to join in or not too, because I know he was pretty busy this season, so he wasn't able to partake in it. But I don't know about that partner thing, man.
No, we can buddy
my
up,
old
man.
partners, my old partners slacking a little bit.
Get back into it, man. Come on, you and me, just like old times.
I need this punishment to be like you eat like a spicy bell pepper or something as a result, because I don't know if I could do anything too extreme here.
I've learned my lesson. I just have to run Caterpie and then I'll get wins.
I'm down for the partners.
That's the truth.
That's my
That is the truth.
All right. Let's talk about the championship series, because we did have one event this past weekend. It was the San Juan Special Championship, and in Puerto Rico. There was only a limited amount of spots, right? Because I remember they sold out pretty quick.
Did they? Because there are only 21 people in the bracket, and some of them didn't even show.
Oh no, there definitely was a limited amount of spots, but I guess like maybe there was a bunch of no shows.
Well, because there's no shows like in the bracket, and quite a few of them.
No, I know, but like they were like capped on like space. I think it was like 45 or something, or 35 even. It wasn't a lot. I remember at the time because it sold out pretty quick, but I did hear
you're telling me that a bunch of people like signed up and like under half of them rocked up. Is that?
I wonder if some of them are maybe locals. I don't know why that's the case, because it's not like people signed up to get a spectator pass, right? I don't even know, but either way, the top 8 looked pretty strong though overall. Yeah, we had Out of Pocket taking the win, which is, I think it's his first win of this season, right?
Yeah,
but I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had, how do you say this name? CAG, MP, WT, PD. How do you say that? I kid you not. The name is KAG, MP, WT, PD. That is that's 7 consonants in a row.
That's why you don't say it. You just shorten it.
Yeah,
CAG.
Go with CAG.
Dude, if I was rich, I'd go on Wheel of Fortune and ask if I could buy a couple vowels for this person. But anyway, CAG, from all the way from Japan, did quite well. Got second place. Unfortunately, doesn't get the guaranteed invite because they didn't win the whole thing. But still,
doesn't even get
good.
championship points.
So championship points. But they get is there prize money here? No,
it's a special event. There's no prize money. That's one of the worst tournaments to hit the second mark in for a Japanese player. Which,
well, really, any tournament to get outside of IC to hit second place for outside of PJC.
Regionals they still get money. So like,
I guess I got you. Yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully CAG enjoyed the tournament at least and had a good time in Puerto Rico. But yeah, Out of Pocket ran a Wigglytuff, Shadow Marowak, Dugong, Shadow Drapion, Galarian Corset, and Shadow Annihilate. There were a bunch of Shadow Annihilate too, actually, all of a sudden. There was 3 Shadow Annihilate in the top 8 and then 2 other non-Shadow Annihilate. Yeah.
Were they all Were they all on Ice Punch this time as well?
I have no idea.
We don't know. So there wasn't a stream.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't know. There's no stream.
Dracovies hasn't updated it yet.
Okay.
No. The last one, the tournament before that in Latin America that didn't have a stream, Dracovies updated it in a snap, and so like all of the moves were there. Merida, it was actually really, really handy. But this one, maybe they don't have the data yet. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
No clue.
Oh, that's true, because it is a special event. I think the special events sometimes take a little bit longer, because I think like a lot of the other special events also take a while, like Lima and stuff, right? So I don't even know if Lima's up by now, but I remember at the time I was looking at it, so that wasn't up. Arceus Aurelius, man, he doing like a global tour here, because he was just in Merida right before, right? And now he's in Puerto Rico, and then now he's at EYC. What the heck? Yo, I remember I chatted with him at in Hawaii for Worlds. And he was telling me how his job is, I think, pretty flexible with PTO, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of Europeans are living better than Americans in general in terms of job flexibility and quality of life. But that's just my take on it. Anyway, he also ran. There were a lot of dugong, actually. There was a total of 6 dugong in the top 8, which is kind of nutty. And then 8 shadow Drapion.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyway, Kag had the dugong as well too, but Arceus Aurelius running that Charger Bug. I wonder if he ran some like Charger Bug ABB line with Drapion in the back to draw the Marowak. Because I think you could just. How does he lose that? I feel like, because then your Drapion's so free in the back. I don't know. I mean, he also did really well, so maybe he didn't lose. He really didn't lose that much. One of my
he and Pocket were the only trainers not to have a Zoomeril also.
Yeah. Well, they were the last 2. They were in the winners final, so they were the last 2 undefeated. Running that.
Yeah. Definitely. Chen, you got 4th place, very frequent attender of NA events, and then we got OG Blairstoys too. Made it quite far, I think, in 5th place. OG Blairstoys is actually a pseudo local mine too, in the SoCal area, but I first met him in Portland, I think last year is when I faced him. And then we have LW Josh, Bulk, and then Blepnir to round out our top 8. So pretty stacked competition, I gotta say. And I'm sure there's some other people in the bracket that I'm not even mentioning that just didn't make top 8. So it's it all took place in one day. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, there are only 21 people. I mean, like Perth beat it. It's
true. The LA Cup last year beat it too in the Go Tour. So.
It's definitely the smallest of the season. And so I do think that was a big attracting factor for, I would say, most of these people, because it was tiny this was the one that was only 5 people last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So definitely people were sort of heading in for potentially the easiest win of the season in terms of like number of games you have to win to get there. Obviously, there's some stacked competition here, but certainly probably the best chance that someone has. Like, you could put the best player in and he's out of pocket winning the whole thing, and this is going to be his easiest run. So it gets the guaranteed Worlds invite, and happy days. Congrats.
Yeah, definitely. The
top 4 is also interesting in that it's like an American, someone from Japan, someone from, Norway. He's from Norway, right? Norwegian?
I think so.
Yeah. And then Taiwan in 4th.
I'm not very well familiar with my flags.
It's Norway.
Okay. Well done. Yeah, I mean, Chen Yu technically is like an NA competitor, though, in terms of championship points and stuff.
Yeah,
right. Maybe like nationality-wise. Yeah. It's kind of like Elam is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Like, he has a different flag. He doesn't have the NA flag or US flag, but he is technically an NA player. Okay, so we have some other updates related to Championship Series. We have the Portland Regional was finally announced. So it was the missing regional from NA, and it is May 24th to the 25th. So book your calendar.
Is that?
Book your tournaments, I guess. I'll see you there, Steve.
I will be camping in the Appalachians, so have fun.
Okay. Are you gonna take a detour?
Yeah, I'll just be like, BRB, everybody.
Yeah. Just tell me where you're at on the trail. I'll just jump out of a helicopter with a parachute. Parachute? What you mean? Yeah. Honestly, I see those videos of people jumping out and like not even the parachute one, the one where like they glide, they almost look like a flying squirrel. Dude, it's just wild that people like well, even parachute itself, I just can't even comprehend how they plan where to land, you know? Like there's like, oh, like I plan to land on that field like 2 miles away. I'm like, what? Like
No idea. I
yeah.
cannot even fathom making a choice, like an active choice to do that thing.
Some people go wild
anything
too.
anything after that is
Yeah.
just
Well, some people doing somersaults and stuff.
inconceivable.
I
Yeah.
saw one guy, he was doing like all these tricks in midair, and then his parachute got tangled. It was like a tangled mess. And you
Ooh,
see
nope.
like his
Nope, 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 nope,
GoPro
nope,
like
nope.
capturing. It's like looks like panic in midair, and he finally pulls like a safety parachute or something last second before landing on the ground. And surprisingly, I don't think he got hurt, or maybe he broke like one bone. I don't know. But my favorite comment underneath on like Instagram was like, you know, the best part about this is it's completely free not to do this hobby. Which I see a lot on parkour videos too, but you know,
Yeah.
some of the stuff
Oh my
people do is
gosh.
kind of nuts. But hey, if you're a thrill seeker,
Nope.
it
I
is what
will
it
just
is.
be in the mountains eating s'mores. That
Enjoying
is
it.
my plan. Nothing exciting.
And I might be hopefully running a Bastia in Portland yet again if they rebuff him. But fingers crossed, we'll see. We'll see. We're not going to do a community bet prediction for this time around, just because Tristan's not here.
We have
Yeah. And
Tristan's not here, and like we need to make it for April, I think.
yeah, so we're pretty safe that it won't be announced in the next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we have some tea this week. Anyone want to take this? Because I haven't read through the full article, but I know the gist of it.
Basically, Niantic released a statement with updates about those coming in person to the Rose Bowl Stadium for
the
the
Unova
Go
Tour.
Tour event in Los Angeles. They were like, "Hey, we're making some changes to our bag policy and our item policy that you can bring in with you. So read about it here." And immediately, it became very clear to Go players that they were not only are they going to have clear bags, which like isn't that surprising because a lot of major events do that even if this is new for Go, but they also announced that you will only be able to have one external battery and it has to be basically the size of a cell phone or smaller, which for a lot of Go players was like, excuse? I'm going to be playing this event for 8 hours and you want me to have one small battery?
I don't own one. Mine is a whole brick, like it's an actual brick.
Yeah. So rightfully, a lot of Go players were kind of upset at that new information less than a week before the event, but also just the fact that like they couldn't think to announce this any sooner. Like the first tweet we have like in our notes here is like some people have already left with all their stuff, like how, and now they're going to get there and have to like acquire new things to accommodate this, which is really frustrating when you've already like made all your plans and everything is underway. And so just the lack of transparency is what has most people riled up.
Yeah, it's just like how last minute it is, and also they've never done this in the past. You know, they've mentioned it in like past Go Fest in Chicago, but like I've been able to walk in with a black backpack, and there's never been a problem. So
I had a big old bird nerd bag that I took into Go Fest. Like filled with who knows what, but it was mostly snacks.
Classic. I did see there was a tweet from Kestrel. What's their job title now? Because I know it changed. The community manager, or
I think they manage a lot of the campfire stuff. That might have been I think that's what they do. They manage a lot of campfire stuff. They're no longer the community. What do you call it? I forgot what it's called.
Community developer might be the title now. They don't have it in their bio, but anyway, they used to be community manager at least. And so they tweeted out something along the lines of, I know this sucks at loud for people already traveling here, and believe us, if we could have notified sooner, we would have. That being said, there are tents to check-in bags that you can leave items to and return to. So for one, there's the piece where like, if they could, so there's a reason that they didn't announce it earlier. So I can't fathom what that reason is. Like, I can't imagine that the Rose Bowl changed their policies.
Well, I'm reading some of the comments here, right, under the post on X, and it says 1% clearbacks are the policy for every stadium in LA and have been for like a decade. And someone responded, last year was the same venue without this clear bag Ziploc policy. And they said, yes, I was there, and this was one of the reasons they changed it. Rose Bowl was one of the only places that didn't do this. Dodger Stadium, Crypto, and Coliseum have all been doing this for a decade. And they said, exactly. Been to 2 concerts at Soldier Field and Go Fest in Chicago, and this was policy for all. I mean, like, this is like, this stuff is not surprising to me that this this is a, you know, policy and everything. But that being said, I can see the frustrations with how late this was announced, right? Because like, why was it announced this late? But also the battery pack thing, like, what the heck? This is Pokemon Go players, man. Like, people got big battery packs. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to just like try to just not bring anything and just see how it goes? I don't know.
And not even big batteries, but also like some people just have multiple ones, you know? Yeah. So like maybe you're relying on being able to switch out midday.
Well, I really am not going to bring your bag either. So, because I don't go to raves and stuff enough, so I'm just like or ever really. So what am I going to use this for besides this? I don't know. Maybe I should get a clear bag. You know what? Maybe I should. Let me look at Amazon real quick while
it'll probably keep coming in handy, I would imagine. But like, if you do have multiple, you can at least like, you know, you can bring your other bag and leave it at the check-in thingo with more batteries in there, and you know, I guess you can come back. Which is like, it's logistically annoying and there'll probably be a line, but at least it's not going to disable your ability to play the event by just having extra battery packs in the check-in. Again, as long as they're smaller than a phone size, which I don't know exactly what that means. I think I did see a graphic somewhere that there were dimensions. So, I mean, if this is relevant to you, one, it's probably way too late. Like, not only are we not reading it at an announcement time, like you are probably already there and already about to head in if you haven't already headed in for the event. But there is a graphic. But
what's the? Do you have the size dimension? Out of curiosity,
is it on the page? I can't.
Well, yeah. I mean, we had no control over when we could even talk about this. That's why it's a tea topic and not an event.
That's true. That's true. I'm about to order my backpack right now. I think I gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I know that things will come up, things will change with live in-person events, but yeah, it's just a general sort of continuation of our lack of our lack of transparency, you know, with Niantic communications. It just keeps happening, you know, in new and exciting ways.
Yeah. To be honest, like, obviously we're all on team Niantic is pretty bad at communication in general. I can't help but look at this particular situation and be like, there's something more here. Because like, I'm not looking at this and like, this is Niantic not communicating. The fact that they've said we couldn't announce this earlier makes me think that there was either a new info, new change, new something to make it be the case. Because it just seems needless otherwise.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Okay, so it's even worse than I thought. It's not like the approved bags is like a clear tote or backpack. But they use a tote bag as the graphic. Why not use a backpack? It's more likely, I feel like. A 1 gallon clear freezing bag. I thought it was like you couldn't do a backpack just to use a tote bag.
In the comments, someone literally posted a picture of these like I don't know what kind of bags they are. They're very colorful, but they're only transparent on one side. One side is like the back is solid, and like Kestrel responded that those should work, but okay. I mean, that's you know, their perspective. You might get different information like from a guard. So again, and there's also apparently, you know, we're talking about the clear bags and the batteries specifically, but apparently there are other restrictions even deeper in their like buried in their policy updates, because one other commenter, at Real Hank Wolfman, says, out of curiosity, will the restrictions on cameras and things like selfie sticks mean that the content creators won't be able to film any content inside the location, or are they exempt? And Kestrel responds, content creators registered with us will be allowed to film.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so it looks like heavy duty camera stuff. It's like unauthorized cameras with lenses longer than 3.5 inches, interchangeable, blah blah blah. Camera accessories such as selfie sticks, tripods, and monopods aren't allowed. Interesting, but
yeah, but apparently allowed if you registered in advance, like to film content or create content with them. Caleb, content creator Caleb.
Not filming nothing. I'm just trying to get in there. Trying to get my content is playing GBL with a white or black Kyurem, or hopefully both. So
just trying to get my 4th hundo Kyurem, please.
Yeah.
What the heck? Okay, so you could bring a water bottle, but it's factory sealed bottles of water or empty reusable water. Oh, but you can refill. Okay.
I see.
So I guess that's gonna be my play. All right.
Reading more of the comments, it also seems like this is directly related to the Rose Bowl itself, because Frostfire 14 posted an Amazon link to a clear backpack. Just wanted to confirm this will be fine. Kestrel responds, too big, needs to be 12 by 12 per the Rose Bowl's FAQ. So maybe it is something specifically to like the stadium that has changed recently. And yeah, it's frustrating if they're not in control of the situation, but I again, even elaborating on that why, I think would, maybe take the wind out of some people's sails when they want to complain a lot online.
That's actually a good point.
This is the
like it may not be Niantic's fault that this is happening, and so I was pretty reasonable at giving them the like, oh, maybe it's not a communication issue, but I guess that is the point where it does become a communication issue, where the sort of speculation and the gap in not understanding why is maybe it. But also at the same time, maybe Niantic doesn't want to send a bunch of hate to the Rose Bowl and ruin their relationship with the Rose Bowl, so they don't let them do events there in the future. Niantic's used to getting hate.
I think it's but again, I think that if it's an explanation as to why, like, this is a policy change that was made recently, like, by the Rose Bowl, which we are working to comply with, and very thankful for their, support and cooperation with this event. Like, it's about the framing, it's about the context, and again, just sort of transparency instead of just saying like their fault, them over there. So, and apparently this was announced first on Twitter. And so, because someone literally commented, and this was like it says 19 hours ago, it's like, would be wise to send an email in-app notification to attendees, maybe not on Twitter for multiple reasons. And Kestrel responds, they're working on it. So I don't know if that is something that got passed along. But yeah, that would be if I were, traveling to, like, paid for travel and traveling to this event, like, that would be kind of my problem too. It's like, maybe I'm not on social media. Like, how are people getting notified outside of this one announcement?
Point. Okay.
By rocking up to the event and getting, hey, that's not cool. You're gonna have to check in that bag.
Yeah, by having your whole day planned out, and then being told like, nope.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come back here anytime you want a snack or a water bottle.
The last minute aspect of it is definitely not ideal by any means, but yeah.
So I think that overall the delivery of this announcement was a little sloppy, even if it's understandable that, like, vendors, like the vendors that you work with for any event, I mean, might change their minds about things, might change their policies, and it's not about this specific event, it's about their general, control over their venue. So I think it could have been delivered better, and maybe it would have made people Not less salty, but maybe less willing to throw some fuel to the fire online.
Well, I'm not as. I think I'm a little bit more realistic. I think they'd be throwing that stuff at someone anyway. It's just who they're throwing it at. But
that is true. We do like to throw things.
All right, I have a question for you two. I bought a clear backpack. It arrives tomorrow at 10 p.m. Which is fine because my ticket's on Saturday, right? Hopefully it gets here. Otherwise, we'll just cancel order. Do I risk the giant portable battery I have and put it in my backpack?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
They said there's a place for me to store
Define giant. Like, define giant, Caleb.
You've seen my thing. It's like literally like the size of this, like it's pretty big.
Yeah, I think that's
work.
I think that's
But I have no other portable battery. What do I do? I just like risk like just my battery running out?
Well, I guess you've got a few options. Number one, you could buy a new one. Number two, you could try to borrow one. Number three, you could just only charge it when you're sort of outside the event.
I got this. This might work.
That'll do.
I have no idea. I've never used this before in my life. So the battery life on this
there are comments that say that like so in your specific case, I think what you do is you bring both batteries with you, like and then have your little one that you can take in, and then you have to go back out if you want like a recharge.
What? I'm just charging my car for a few hours? This is actually really stupid. I just realized I can't plug it into anything because it's got USB-A. I have USB-C. How do I charge my phone with this?
You gotta find an adapter, Caleb.
What?
Hang on. USB isn't the bit that plugs into the charger the USB and then it plugs into your phone?
No, mine is USB-C on both because it's the newest iPhone.
Yes. Yeah, the newer devices have USB-C on both ends because both my Pixel phone and my iPad are like that.
That's crazy.
So you gotta find some kind of adapter, I guess.
That is annoying. Or get
you got any adapters buried in there?
I got it right here. Look at this. It's like Barney. I got a whole bag of tricks up my sleeve. That's actually pretty wild. I just randomly have one, but hey, I have a whole drawer. Like
I don't think it's random. I think it's another thing that you just forgot.
Yeah, I have a whole drawer of a bunch of cables, and just having it sitting at the very top. So we good to go,
you're all ready.
Though. I'm ready for the rave too because I got this backpack. I better go to a rave with this and make the most of this. I don't know about going to a Unova Tour every year, making the most of this.
I hope the backpack you ordered is less than 12 by 12.
It is. Yeah. I double checked that for sure because I'm not trying to be like Crossfire and order the wrong one.
Hey, I mean, he checked.
No,
hopefully
he checked with Kestrel, but Kestrel said it's too big, and he responded with, "Hopefully, it's not too late to cancel."
Okay.
Sorry, Frost, but
I didn't read through all the comments, I guess.
Yeah, I tried to not laugh when I read that while you guys were talking. Anyway, okay, so yeah, unfortunate, but
yeah, it is what it is.
Is what it is. In the future for Niantic events, just something to keep in mind, I guess. But that being said, obviously that's more specific for people going to event, but just who knows? Down the road, I think if people keep playing the game, like you're probably gonna see yourself at an in-person event at one point or another. So maybe not for everyone, but for most people. So
it is something to keep in mind for the future that you should, we all should strive to be a little more flexible in how we prep for these in-person events.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Let's head down to the T-top, not T-topic, the YouTube comments.
We just did that.
We can do another.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got some tea in the comments.
Maybe. All right. So, I there was I think this was. Oh no, we talked about that. Okay, that was last time. So yeah, I wasn't sure if there's like a new comment on the old video, but they're all here. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the recent one. Alessio Pucci says, "Oh my god, that's why I thought Escavalier was Shelmet's evolution. I genuinely thought Excelgor was Carablast's evolution." See, that makes two of us. Not 3 of us though, because Steve was a little off the mark, but 2 of us. I still can't go over how confident you were though, Steve, because that's what I was like, oh,
Yeah,
he's
well,
on the same page as me.
because like, okay, well, once I
And
understood the
then
question
you
in terms
respond
of
with,
like,
he's
Listen,
his shell's made out of armor. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess
it's
so.
like that's the
that's
only
not
real world
and
object.
that's not entirely outside the realm of possibility, because when you look at the design,
Yeah,
that's what it
those
looks
are
like.
the items. I think
Just
that
making
it
the
is the
making the
second
real
best
world
answer.
connection.
It is the best wrong answer you could have, because it's the only one that actually answers Kaz's question.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
either you get it right or you say like suit of armor.
I think that's true. I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I
I stand
don't
by
know.
it.
Anyway, that being said, Artemis Dragon says it was very confusing trying to evolve them because I had to remember what evolves into what because of that helmet changing hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eight the Great says,
No,
I
that's
think,
totally fair.
yeah, I think they may have had phones with Poco on it and Teams on them. I saw them at NIC 2 years ago. There were phones sitting around with Poco on it and accounts with their like built starters like Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Togedemaru, and a few other Pokemon. Unfortunately, they had the wrong moves and stuff, but there were TMs on the account. Now, I'm not sure what they used those phones for, but maybe they did have a learning thing for Pokemon Go at ICs, but I also have never seen it again. I wouldn't be surprised by that because there's always like this, isn't there's always like this play lab or whatever at ICs and Worlds? It's like for like TCG though, where like if you're new to it, you could go and they'll teach you how to play the game. You could like play with some test decks.
Yes, and they have something similar for the console game as well. I thought
I don't know
they have
about
like
every. I don't think. Oh, they definitely didn't have it at OCIC. I don't think they had it at LAIC. Did they?
No, well, LIC typically no, because they don't even have a Pokemon Center for it. But
okay, so we're already shrinking down to NAIC and EUIC.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, and Worlds, yeah. But you know,
okay.
It is, yeah.
And they might have done it even just at one of those, not gotten a strong response, and decided not to do it again.
You know,
You
it
know,
probably is
for
the
any
one
of
that
these.
Eighth Grade's mentioning, the one from 2 years ago, and they haven't done it
Yeah.
since. So that might be the case. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
think Eighth Grade was at NAIC last year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I was, but I didn't see it. But I wasn't looking around at all the stuff because NAC is big. But
I'll be honest, I actually think it's more likely that was just like the staff logging into phones to like set them up for stuff, and that was just one of the staff accounts that was just there.
Maybe. No, I did hear rumblings of this actually like a while back. So I'm not surprised if that was their plan, but maybe it just wasn't popular enough to take off, or I don't know. Or maybe Niantic didn't like the multi-accounting aspect to it. I don't know. But either way, I think those kind of things are nice, but again, just give us the actual Pokemon double move with the right move sets of these Pokemon when they're released,
It's true.
Yeah.
They could do it.
Yeah. Artemis Dragon says at the 51 mark, in my opinion, the meta is fine, quite possibly the greatest ever. Okay, that's not entirely true. I think the problem, I love how Artemis Dragon just contradicts themselves right after. I think the problem is that one, people, including myself, may not be very creative at team building as we think. And two, the meta really punishes the average player for being different. When Elo and championship points are at stake, can we really blame anyone for being safe? Because at the end of the day, nobody's happy about losing days or weeks of progress because of whatever the reason. And that is why we're always stuck with those exhilarating Azumarill versus Azumarill or Annihilate versus Annihilate matches every other game in GPL and play Pokemon. Here's a sarcastic thought. Why not give more of the staples fast moves that they don't resist, like a bubble version of Charm as a plus move for Azumarill?
I think like a water charm as a fast move.
Okay, don't hate me, Professor Tristan. That's what Artemis says. Suddenly, the Azumarill mirror looks more dynamic. Also, fun fact: Azumarill has appeared in every main series game since the 90s. It's not going anywhere. That's true. I think that's a good point. And honestly, I think I used to think that this would make stuff like Azumarill and Mew overpowered in DX defense, but I think it's time that I've mentioned this before on the podcast, we just have 3 moves unlock charge attacks. It just gives more coverage.
Yeah.
There's really no downside to it. Yeah, obviously strong Pokemon are going to be strong, but still, it makes certain fringe Pokemon more relevant too. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if Azumarill has 3 moves or 2 moves for charge attacks. It's going to be strong either way, you know? So it gives like certain other Pokemon, maybe like an Ampharos, a slight leg up because that thing is like a Swiss Army knife. But what kind of Swiss Army knife is it that you can only use 2 out of the thing, like the 10 things it has, you know? So I think the better play is just to allow it so that like all three moves can be used. And I mean, again, Azuma's going to be relevant either way, right? Registeel might be pretty strong too after that, but at the end of the day, like it gives more coverage and it makes the gameplay more dynamic. Dude, I just want to make the gameplay more dynamic, you know? Like it's been like how many years of PvP? 6 years at this point, like 7 years, you know?
Well, that's actually the first thought I had as well is like, I mean, the thing that you could do to make gameplay more dynamic and might help with kind of the stale feeling is we just have more moves. Mm-hmm. Whether that's you have 2 fast attack options, which you can choose again, like it's a matter of tapping, or you know,
no, Kaz, I need to think this through. Imagine if you're running like a what do you call it, a Typhlosion, right, with Shadow Call and Incinerate, alternating between those 2 moves. Dude, talk about how you're going to lose turns already in a game. Like imagine alternating between 2 turns. That's crazy.
What I'm envisioning is you can't alternate between the 2 at random, right? Okay. It's like you kind of choose one when you go into the matchup. Like, and you tap on that. It's not like the charge attack where you kind of like gain energy on it or whatever until you like do the animation. It's like you tap it and that's your move until I don't know. You'd have
the rest of that game.
That's there's actually it's called using a fast TM before you go into the battle. That's how you select which fast move you use.
The way I'm seeing Kaz do it is like even more wild because imagine if you're at a tournament, right? Let's say you're at Brisbane, right? And you're battling someone and you face a Chestnut, right? And you're like, oh, we good. I got a Talonflame. We're chilling. And then the moment we load in the Chestnut, they're like, oh, wait, you could choose Smackdown or Vine Whip. You could choose right off the bat. Dude, I'm choosing Smackdown every time I see that lead, and then you're stuck. You're still thinking like, are they gonna choose Vine Whip and swap out? Well, I'm about to lose half my health in 1 fast attack before I can even swap out, right?
Hey, you asked for dynamic gameplay. Guess what?
I don't know if I love that, but it could be interesting. I don't know if I love that. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, if you're Talonflame, you throw Incinerate, you're taking 2 Smackdowns, right? So you either sit there and pause, waiting for the fast attack to come through, which doesn't usually come through anyway.
Well, I'm thinking about something like how Morpeko currently works, where you have the charge attack that changes its type, you know, based on every time you fire a charged attack. Not necessarily that one, but just a charged attack.
Right.
But then when you swap Morpeko out, it defaults back to like an electric type to start, even if you left as it was a dark type move, right? If I have Morpeko in its like hangry mode with energy, but I leave that match, and Morpeko comes back in, then it's defaulted back to an electric type move, right? That's kind of what I'm envisioning. Like if you added another fast attack, is like you choose like what it is when you start, but it's stuck that way until you like swap out, and then when you come back in, you have the opportunity to perhaps change it again, or maybe it's set that way for the whole match. I'm not a programmer. But I do imagine it could be really, really crazy. You know, change to how we perceive the game and how we plan our teams and everything. Especially since there are a lot of good Pokemon like Typhlosion with 2 very viable fast move options. I say viable, but I haven't seen a Shadow Claw Typhlosion in a really long time.
Well, true. Yeah, it would probably be. It's just such a good move that a lot of times it's actually not even that much worse. So, yeah, it's a weird one. Anyway, I think 3 moves could be good. Artemis Dragon also, it's time for Kaz's and Caleb's critique corner. What? Oh, it's because it went to when it was just me and Kaz.
Yeah,
that's funny too. I have a Caleb's critique corner and Kaz's corner too. I was like, what? Am I critiquing her battles? Is she critiquing my battles? What's going on? That's funny. And then Artemis Dragon also says, I agree with Infinite Smash from episode 188. I feel like, as usual, someone at Niantic is not seeing the vision of another necessary product and is doing the bare minimum in some ways with Campfire as they have with Go, which makes me wonder if Campfire could be better as a non-political, safe to use app for Go players. A few tabs for accounts you follow, that's popular, event reviews, trending posts, and of course, a tab for local trades is all it would take. Steve would tap on local trades while sipping on morning brew, do a search of Galarian Corsa, and instantly find a local with 3 for trade from a trip to California, and a return username Twirl Scrapper would just like to mirror trade at a sponsored Pokestop or gym. Dude, they could even add a Pokeball symbol for verified accounts and a Master Ball for trusted influencers. So much winning. Dude, honestly, that's a really cool idea, especially the verified accounts thing too. I think that could be pretty dope as well.
I mean, honestly, as a person that only joined X to follow Pokemon Go content, yeah, sold.
I also think, I wonder if you can like incentivize people to play the game. Like you had to be level 20 to start chatting or something, you know? Because like before level 20, you're not even doing much raids, right? So like, like, are you working coordinate raids? Maybe that's too long. But like, I think there should be some incentive, because some like level incentives, so you could do certain things or post certain things. Because I think my biggest concern, I guess it's already happening on Campfire to a degree, is that it's a family friendly game, right? And you don't want people sending like inappropriate messages, right? For lack of better terms, on their apps. Well, what if you make it so that like, oh, there's a certain level restriction to type certain things, send pictures, all that stuff, and if you do, send anything inappropriate, you get your account reported, then it just bans your account. And because I say that because they've already invested time into leveling this account, right? So people are maybe going to be a little bit more careful. Whereas like, oh, anyone could post anything if you just download Campfire. Then people are going to be just sending all this spam stuff everywhere, right? And inappropriate stuff. So, and they have no fear of consequences. But this way, you make it so that it's like a player base that uses it consistently, and they have more to lose if they just like are out of line.
Yeah. Look, I like the idea. I like what you've added. However, the reality is that we would be in a scenario where Niantic is running a social media program, essentially.
Yeah.
Which
can't happen.
I mean, can it really be that much worse than X these days? Like, I don't know about you all, but I'm sitting there muting accounts on the regular on this platform. It's not people like in the Pokemon Go community. I mean, sometimes, but the majority of the time, it's just random content creators, for probably the best way to describe it, posting various images and videos of themselves, and I'm like, I don't want this on my timeline, and I'm just like, it's like fruit flies, right? Like, it's just like you can't get rid of them. They're everywhere. And
I stay in my following tab. I don't venture out into the home tab. I stay in the following tab.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm curious what's happening. Well, because there's a lot of stuff that I like.
As well.
Like, there's something like, what? How are you going to keep up with the memes and trends, Steve? What about Montoya right here? You know anything about Montoya? Because if you do, I know you're not checking only your following tab. There's no way. Montoya they be doing some wild stuff, right? Like I said, stuff that would not happen on Campfire. But on X, shoot, they show it all, and sometimes it's kind of entertaining. But yeah, I have that on my watch list. It's on Amazon Prime. Right? I keep seeing updates from that as well. Anyway, if you know, you know. Clearly, Steve's not only looking at the following tab, is all I'm saying. You got him exposed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think also, for what it's worth too, like, I think it's easy for us as PvPers to disconnect from like the rest of the Pokemon Go community, but I kid you not, my locals are dedicated. Hoopa, okay, I did, for example, Hoopa Raid Day, whatever, I did enough Hoopa to get the XLs to max mine. How I did it? Driving around my local area, dude, there's like 40, 50 plus people walking around doing these Hoopa raids. These are just like probably people that don't PvP at all. And they do these events every time, and they're coordinating on Campfire. You got the Campfire leader sharing her location in the Campfire group as well, as you can follow along like GPS. So like, sometimes if I was like, I feel antisocial, I don't feel like walking around with them, I would just follow her location on Campfire and drive behind them. Well, not drive behind the actual group, like it's not on the sidewalk, but I'm driving like in the rough area.
I only do some mild stalking.
she threw out her location, not me. She's like, hey, follow along
No.
if you want to.
I mean, it very highly depends on where you are. I do think that your community is particularly active.
100%.
There
It's
are
LA,
certain there are certain parts of the Atlanta metro area I know that are very active. The part where I am ain't it, but if I want to find like the sort of more dedicated grinders and stuff, like I have to go drive a little ways away. But certainly if you're in like an area where there is a lot of activity, it can feel a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so all I'm saying is like Campfire in a way is already pretty active on like a social media front in a way, so might as well just capitalize it. But I know obviously a lot of us don't use it. I did get my level 15 Giratina, 1500 Giratina from it, so
I do think like the Pokemon Go community as a whole has kind of like come to rely on Campfire a little bit more. I remember when it was first announced, it was very dubious. Like a lot of people were like, now I got to get this other thing, like in addition to the thing that I already didn't use, but I do think people have come to accept that that's like a more reliable way to find out events that are going on with communities in your area. So so who knows how it'll grow in time, but I do like Artemis Dragon's comment and your additions. Like I do see how it could be continued to adapt over time.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Mr. Scott Bagel's comments. Hey everyone, I'm interested in your take. I started Show 6 about a year ago. I've enjoyed the format more than Go Battle League, and even went to my first regional in San Antonio a few weeks ago. Oh, that's awesome. Scott Bagel continues, however, something frustrating has been happening in my local challenges and cups. Twice I've tied for best record, including highest percentage of games won, but gone home with 0 championship points. I asked the organizer about this, and she said the tiebreaker is determined alphabetically by first name. What?
That's not true.
Since my name begins with S, I've been on the wrong side of the tiebreaker multiple times. At this point, I've missed out on probably 25 to 30 championship points. I'm not completely devastated because I likely won't be going to Worlds, but an alphabetical tiebreaker seems like it needs to be updated considering how competitive the race for Worlds invites is. Thanks for the weekly pod. I look forward to it every week. No, I think, okay, so no, before you say anything too, I have something really quick to say is, I think unfortunately your organizer is mistaken and she's probably not doing it right. It should be completely randomized because I remember I've been in that situation before. I've tied, right? And like the tiebreaker is like, oh, certain points or whatever. I remember at one of my locals, I got like 3rd or 2nd or something, and it was a tiebreaker, right? And it was because we didn't have a single elimination round. It was just Swiss, right? It was a smaller amount. And I won the coin flip, essentially. I got 2nd place. And the system went down right after they figured out the placements. So so the way the card shop did it was like, oh, winner gets 3 card packs, 2nd place gets 2, 3rd place gets 1.
Yep.
And so it was with me and my local Andy, and I got 2nd, he got 3rd. And then the organizer was saying like, hey, I can't input this in the system right now, so when I put it later, it's going to randomize it again, and there's a chance that you might not get 2nd or 3rd, or you might get 3rd instead of 2nd. And you know what I said? I was just like, honestly, I personally don't care because I'm planning on, it was a challenge, right? I was like, I'm planning on like maxing out all my points one way or another. I was like, I'd rather just get the extra card back. But, funny enough, when she finally entered in, when the system came back up, I did actually get 3rd. So, like, all I'm saying that is like, and there's been other situations I've been in that situation. The alphabetical shouldn't matter. Also, this guy's name's Andy, right? So, like, A definitely comes before C, right? So, like, so it's not related to that. So, anyway, I think that I don't know how you bring this up, Scott Bagels, but there probably is some type of support form you can ask TPCI to take a look into, or you could, if you think the organizer is rational enough, you could maybe just have the conversation with her and see if she's willing to like approach it differently. But that's not how it should be, based on my experience. This was this past season, this current season, not like past seasons. But yeah, Steve, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say the same thing, that I think the organizer is just mistaken on that front, and like. It is supposed to be random. I didn't think there was organizer input in like how they filled it out. I thought it spat it out at you in the order. Because the little like printouts they do for the matchup, whatever. And so it should just be printed out that way. And I don't know how many locals you've done so far. It says twice you've tied. So I assume that you've just gotten unlucky twice, which to be clear is like it does suck. Like, as much as it's not an alphabetical system that's the problem, the system is problematic. Like, it is really annoying.
I feel like they should just make you play like a best of one, like, tiebreaker game.
Yeah.
Or like a best of 3 even. Like, it's not really going to take that long, right? But it's just like, unfortunately, that's not put in the works, because the system they use is the same for VGC and TCG, to my knowledge, for their locals. And obviously their games take a lot longer, and it's just what they have. But so I think if they were to, I think there's probably a way for them to standardize it just for Pokemon Go, but I don't know if that's easier or not, or they'll try to do it for the other stuff. But I don't think there's enough complaints from TCG and VGC to warrant them to change it, and that's the bulk of their player base, unfortunately. But I don't know, maybe someone from TPCI is listening to this on the esports side, and they'll take note, and maybe they'll make a change next time. I think, actually, I didn't even think about that. I think there's a chance, like you said, Steve, that she might have been doing it correctly and just ended up that you got unlucky both times, because it's a 50-50 coin toss, right? So, and maybe she's like, oh, it's because your name's Scott, right? But there might be a chance that, because I don't know if she could choose, right? Once they put it in system, it just ends up that way. So just like my organizer, she doesn't choose who does it. The system just does it. So I think you might have just been unlucky. Let's hope that that's not the case in the future. But also maybe worth bringing up to your organizer to see what she says and stuff too. But if she's following the protocol and putting in the stuff into the system, then it shouldn't be based on alphabetical, and she might just be mistaken. But the system just like, you're just losing the coin flip both times. Yeah. So. Sometimes that happens too, unfortunately. I mean, I'd be trying to get these coin flips on Scorching Sand debuffs in the Tigger Speed Mirror, and I don't get a single one to get 3 in a row. So you know how it goes.
It's unfortunate when that is the difference between 0 championship points and 40 championship points sometimes. But
but that being said, Scott Bagels, it's really great to hear though that you started Show 6, and you've been enjoying it a lot, and hopefully we'll see you at some future tournaments. I don't know if you're based in San Antonio or not, but hey, it's not too far from Atlanta, so we're gonna be there soon. NAIC, New Orleans, not too bad. No, I kid you not though. No, you laugh, Steve. But when I drove, I've mentioned this before, when I drove from Atlanta to LA, right, when I moved, my first leg of the drive was Atlanta to Dallas, Texas. Dallas is like middle of Texas. 11 hours. That's it. The rest of the journey, you think you're like, oh, he's halfway there, right? At least based on my US geography, that's what I was thinking. No, like the rest from Dallas, Texas to LA took me additional like 3 days.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Not that far from LA. That's what's going through my head. I'm like,
no. Texas
Atlanta.
not that far.
Yeah,
Atlanta. Atlanta and New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans is even closer, right?
No.
So
got it.
No hate on
New
some of the
Orleans
other states,
closer,
but I just like didn't feel safe stopping in some of the other states before Dallas. So I just drove. But it was only 11 hours. That was it. And it was like during traffic too. So it's really not that bad. So on plane ride, maybe not too bad either. But anyway, either way, best of luck on your PP journey, Scott Bagels. And feel free to drop any other comments down the road. Hopefully you win the tiebreaker next time. Or maybe you just win it all and no need for a coin flip. But yeah. And then Debbie Pebble, to wrap it up, last comment says, be right back. Making a Who is Steve account. That's the slander we need, Debbie Pebble. Clear your name.
Oh, actually, I have one more comment. Jen sent me a message, in our chat.
Oh, she also did write something on Podbean, so I will check that out while you read that.
She said, "Thank you for interpreting my Podbean comments. Podbean tried to censor me." She said it tried to censor the word tit.
Oh, that's right. She wrote T space I space T. That's so funny. Did you listen to that episode?
That's what I told you.
Steve?
What's that?
Did you hear that episode, the last episode?
Yeah, I also knew that bird existed. So
he said he was listening to it, and then he realized that half of it was you talking about.
No. You know why? You know why? Right? Don't be on like, oh, I'm just well cultured, intelligent. You know why you probably knew this? Because you probably weren't as mature as me, and you as kids were probably laughing about this bird growing up. I'm like, oh my god, this is great tit, right?
Yeah,
it was a great tit.
Until you hear about the blue.
You're also the last one to realize that people have been making that joke for 1,000 years.
I'm just not into the crass humor, I guess. I'm just too mature for my age, growing up. Because I asked my friend that I said that to, and they were like, oh yeah, there just wasn't a lot going on in my small town, so that's why we do this.
Listen, the amount of messages that I get, week to week, day to day of people being like, this can't be its real name. And not just about these birds. There's so many awfully named birds, you guys. And people are constantly asking me if it's real, and I'm like, I promise it's no one's fault. But this is just
it's someone's fault, but not it is someone's fault that named it, but most people are not held responsible.
My own mother sent me a picture of a bird, and I had to preface it with like, I promise I'm not making this up. This is its real name that I am telling you right now.
How did she respond to that?
She just had like a laughing emoji.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, your mom has more of a sense of humor than mine, for sure. Yeah. Jen in the last episode on the Podbean comment says, censoring my comments. Great. Like she just like combined it into one word. Clever. And then Jen also says, Caleb last on a joke. Easy as uno dos tres. Like I said, I'm just too mature for this generation, I guess.
Beyond, you're just so beyond your years,
Caleb. I'm genuinely surprised that people in my school did not come with this stuff, because I also grew up in a very small farm town, and there was really nothing much to do. We didn't even have a movie theater in our town. That's how crazy it is. Not a single movie theater in our whole town. We did have 2 McDonald's, though, if that says anything about capitalism and fast food.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I grew up in a town without a movie theater, and then when we got a movie theater while I was in high school, oh my god, huge deal.
But did you all have McDonald's before the movie theater was built?
Yes.
See,
yeah, we had
that's
McDonald's
crazy.
forever. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess does that make sense? There's more McDonald's than movie theaters.
Yes, because McDonald's is a huge, massive chain.
But yeah, you're right. But I feel like movie theaters back when we were kids were definitely more common. Like I feel like more have gone out of business lately because of streaming and all that stuff.
I don't think so, because like, I mean, movie theaters have always been like a big investment, because you need a certain amount of space, you need a certain amount of like, parking lot and building space, and
true.
People to go and attend the movies. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The next town over from me, they had like 3 movie theaters. Wild.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. Appreciate the comments, appreciate the viewership and listenership, and hopefully I will be tying up that Kaz's corner score next week. But should be good. Best of luck to everyone competing at EUIC. Any predictions on who wins it all out of the 3 of us? I'm going with the crazy prediction here. Marto Galde does it again. I'm going with the crazy prediction.
If he does, like it's gonna be so wild, the two dichotomies of reactions. So many people will be thrilled, and so many people will be mad.
I feel like you cannot be a true like esports person and be mad, because like you're literally witnessing greatness unfold in front of you. It's like when Doombug won like 3 regionals last year, right, and also got second at UIC. Yeah. Like you're just sitting there like, yeah, like it sucks he's grabbing guaranteed invites, but at the same time you're like, this is hard not to be like, crazy stoked about, because like this kind of stuff is not common, right? Like to see this, and no one's won 2 internationals in general on the masters level at least. So I was so dedicated to this, I even DM'd him. I was like, hey, he didn't DM me, I DM'd him. I was like, hey, looking for scrims? He responded to me this morning, and when I say this morning, I mean like 3.5 hours ago. No, 4.5 hours ago. And today's Thursday, by the way. Tomorrow the event starts. Actually, less than 24 hours from now. He said, I don't have a team, TBH. So, anyway.
Well, my prediction is that when he does make a team, Jumpluff will be on it.
That's true. Jumpluff has
honestly best storyline possible. So
yeah. I'll go for Marto. Yeah. Wait. What about you two?
I mean, I'll be cheering for Rick Flareon just so that we can get like another Australian invite.
One of those.
Honestly, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled to see Marto win it, just because, like you're saying, it's like that's like history right there. That's incredible. That's an incredible achievement. Like it's So yeah.
It's to be fair to Steve too. you all have way less invites in Oceania, so I think
Yeah, we need it,
fine.
please.
I think for us, we're like, yeah, we got 75 plus more. Like
Yeah.
like it should be fine.
You guys don't need it.
Scott Bagel too. Like
Yeah.
if you go to more
Okay.
tournaments, I believe you really could make it to Worlds. I mean that in full sincerity as well. I mean, I said that to Kaz like a while ago, and she's well on her way. So.
To update, I did look at the leaderboard placement. I'm at 99 right now because I just haven't been doing anything. So,
no, that's fine.
But
That's fine.
I'm going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm going to NAIC, and I'm going to be doing some locals in between now and then. I think I have like quite a few more local tournaments before I max out my
I'll also
experience there. So.
I'll see you at Portland too. So that'll
Nope.
be that.
You shan't. You shall not.
The hike shall end early, or maybe you really took the Appalachian Trail. You really sped up the progress there.
You'll
and
see
went
me
the other way.
if you video call me and
You went from
while you're there.
Appalachian Trail to the Grand Canyon, in one go. But anyway, we are going to wrap it up here. Thanks all for tuning in, and hopefully next week I'll have a little ETB box to show off my local. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, have a good one, and peace out.